Have you ever looked at the palm of your hand? There is something ancient beneath the skin, a call that has yet to be answered. Your palm is an engraving of your soul, a reminder from heaven left to you long before you were born. And if today you see a crescent moon, or an M emerging from the interwoven lines like a silent prophecy, then know this: you are marked, you are called, and you are chosen. The mark on your hand is a sacred code. It is the Creator's signature, engraved in divine light, reserved for souls sent into this world with a purpose greater than reason can comprehend. People like you don't need anyone to teach them how to feel, because you have always known deep in your silence. You have always seen more than the eyes could see. You have always felt before anyone spoke, and you know. You walk into a room and you know what is going on before anyone says anything. You don't hear with your ears, you hear with your soul. You don't understand with logic, you understand with the vibrations of truth. You are not a dreamer, you have been dreaming long ago, and you have brought those dreams down here to remember, to restore, to complete. This July is an energy portal, a sacred turning point in your destiny map. It is not open to everyone. It only opens when a soul is ripe enough, strong enough, clear enough to step through. And if you feel something different approaching, if you feel a calling that cannot be named, then that is the call. And you are hearing it. But stepping through that portal cannot be done absent-mindedly. It requires you to be light, to be clean, to be clear. Not to be perfect, but to keep your soul frequency clear, to keep it from being caught up in things that are not meant for you. There are 12 sacred things that you are invited to avoid, not out of fear, but out of respect for the light you carry. This journey begins from within. And now, in this moment, is your choice, to retreat into the old or to step into your true depth. You have been marked. Now is the time to live it. If you have a crescent moon or an M on your palm, the revelations that are about to unfold will help you avoid the 12 most dangerous energy traps of July, traps that can easily lead the chosen one astray from their destiny. By the end, you will understand why any feelings of insecurity, stagnation, or conflict within you are not random, but a warning from your soul about to move to a new level. Hit like if you have ever felt like you were born different from the rest. Subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any revelations for those with the mark. And if you are ready to enter the soul acceleration phase, comment now. I am chosen. I will step through. Now let's get to the first thing to avoid. And you will see why just one wrong choice can derail your destiny. Avoid consuming low-frequency content. July is a time for clearing the mind and strengthening the sacred energy. It is a time for clarity, for clear frequencies, for the inner space to be raised as a living temple. The world is emitting millions of signals every day, images, sounds, messages, waves, and each of them carries energy. When you open your eyes, when you touch a video, when you hear a word, you are entering a vibrational field. And you, a crescent moon or M, do not receive like others. You feel with your soul, you absorb with frequency, you connect with light. Your energy field is a sacred antenna. It does not operate randomly. It scans, receives, transmits, with every glance, every melody, every word. When you consume judgmental content, you are drawing a wave of chaos into yourself. When you spend hours on comparison and negativity, you are draining your own light. Not because you are weak, but because you are strong, you absorb more. And because you are strong, you need to protect yourself on a higher level. July invites you to step out of the noise. Take a moment each day. Turn off your devices, sit still, breathe deeply, as if you were entering a temple. Filter the sources you consume. Keep only what lifts you up, because your energy field is sacred ground, and only what is holy is worthy to pass through that ground. 2. Avoid ignoring the little signs. The universe is always speaking, but for the chosen ones, the cosmic voice does not come as thunder. It comes as a gentle breeze across the skin. It comes as a look, as a strange beat in the heart, as a seemingly meaningless dream that leaves an emotional impact that lasts all day. You are being spoken to every day, not in words, but in sacred frequencies. If you have a crescent moon or an M on your palm, your soul is tuned to receive these invisible signals. Your hand is a divine antenna, a divine instrument designed to pick up signals from above. You sense something is happening before it appears, And July, the month of the opening of the portals, will send you more signals than ever before. More coded, more subtle, more special. You will see numbers repeating, 111, 222, 333. You will dream of something strange but familiar. You will have an urge to open a video, turn down a different path, say something you don't even know why. Feathers. A song at the right moment. A flash of light in the eye. A thrill. All of it is God's word, and you are being called. Slow down. Be present. Listen. Each time you notice a sign, you are reactivating your sacred memory. You are remembering the mission you promised to fulfill. Markers don't live by chance, they follow confirmation. July is whispering to you, and you were born to hear it. 3. Avoid staying in places that numb your soul. There are places that used to be home, but now they only confine your soul. There are spaces that used to make you feel safe, but now they make your energy shrink, as if you are breathing in a room with no air. July comes as a serious call. Take a look at where you live. Take a look at where you work. Take a look at where you are loving, expressing yourself, holding on to your old self. If you are a crescent moon sign or an M, you feel the energy drain before it shows. You don't need to be told. You know. You are staying in a place you have moved on from. You are holding on to a job, a relationship, an image, not because you still belong there, but because you are afraid of making others feel bad. But you were not born to be stable. You were born to flourish in the light. Invisible cages are subtle. They can be jobs that provide income but drain joy. They can be relationships that no longer connect, that only hold you accountable. They can be old roles that you play just to keep others comfortable. These are no longer foundations, they are chains. Leaving is not a failure. Leaving is a rite of passage. When your soul outgrows the space you are in, it is a sign that it is time to move on. Walk away while you still have the light. Don't wait until the energy is drained. Ask yourself, does this still inspire me? If the answer is silence, then you have heard the guidance. Spiritual growth always comes with movement. Make the change. Give your soul the space to soar. 4. Avoid absorbing emotions without boundaries. You don't just feel emotions, you absorb them with your soul. People with a crescent moon or an M on their palms are not just sensitive, they are absorbers, people who vibrate with the invisible waves of the world. You don't just hear sadness, you carry it into your body. You don't just know that others are hurting, you live with that pain as if it were born from within you. This is a gift and a great challenge. Your intuition is not just an emotion. It is an emotional intelligence given to you by God to feel, to understand, to support. But if you don't have a sacred fence, energy from all over will pour in like water overflowing the banks. July opens up many waves of emotions, and you, the chosen one, need to be steady so as not to dissolve into a sea of energy that is not yours. When you feel tired, tense, heavy, stop. Ask, is this mine? If your body sighs, if your heart calms, you are holding a storm that does not have your name. Return it where it belongs. Return it with light. Return it with prayer. Return it with forgiveness. Because you are not called to hold it all. You are called to be a clean flow. Your energy field is a living temple. Not everyone can enter, and not every storm needs you to calm it. You do not carry, you guide. Pay attention to your body, to how it feels to be near someone. Create a breathing space where you rekindle your inner light. Because when you hold your flame, you light the way for those who walk in darkness. 5. Avoid explaining the light to those who are not ready. You have softened your light to make it easier for others. You have minimized the sacred truth in your heart just to avoid being called too strange. You have hidden your intuition, even though it was as clear as a bell in your heart, just because you didn't want to explain it. That doesn't come from weakness. It comes from the loneliness of a soul who brought the light too early into a world that was not at the right frequency to receive it. If you have a crescent moon or an M in your palm, your light is sacred. It cannot be justified, it cannot be withdrawn, it cannot be dimmed. It doesn't need approval, it needs manifestation. God has engraved it on your hand, and He doesn't need your permission to shine. Some people will think you are too dreamy, too sensitive, too mysterious, and they won't understand. But that is not a sign to adjust yourself. They are not wrong. They are just not tuned in to your voice. Every time you try to convince others of your light, You are questioning the truth you carry. And July will test this. You will be tempted to explain. But you have come to a point where you need to learn to stand up straight in clarity without having to prove it. The person meant for you will recognize you. They will see, they will understand, without you having to say much. That is the sign of a resonance. That is when you know you don't have to bend to be accepted. You just have to show up with spiritual authenticity. Stop explaining and start living. Stop justifying and stand up with the pride God has placed in you. 6. Avoid postponing rest. Even the moon hides in the dark before it shines brightly again. So do you. You carry the crescent moon or the letter M on your palm. You do not live at the noisy pace of the masses. You were born to shine. But true light exists only in souls who revere rest. July will test this. Opportunities will come with noise. You will find yourself caught up in the desire to do more, create more, run faster. But your soul is sending you another signal, a divine signal. Stop, breathe, take a step back and listen to God's call from within. This is not a month to rush. This is a month to reconnect. You do not give only by doing. You give by light, by presence, by the life energy that flows from your eyes, your hands, your voice. And when that light begins to fade, you are no longer truly present, even though the body is still there. Rest does not pull you down. Rest lifts you up to a stronger self. Redefine rest. Not sleep. It is ritual. It is intentional silence. It is a day without explanation. It is a time without reaction. It is stepping out of the noise to listen to your sacred heartbeat. Cancel what no longer resonates. You don't need a reason. Say no sacredly, because you know what is depleting within you. And each day, take time for something seemingly small, doing nothing, just being. In that non-doing, you return to the light stronger than ever. 7. Avoid lowering your vision. Your vision is a message from heaven. It is not a figment of your imagination, but a sacred seed planted in your soul before you were born. Every dream that scares you is a reminder that it is not from you, but from the one who sent you into this world. You are given a covenant, and your vision is the proof. July will make this clear. Every time you shrink, you are cutting yourself off from the magic. Every time you tell yourself you are not enough or just dreaming, you are denying the light you were born to bring. The world does not need another copy. The world is waiting for the right frequency that only you can emit. If you have a crescent moon or an M on your palm, you were chosen to see things that others have never dared to imagine. You did not come to blend in. You came to lead, not to adjust your vision to human logic, but to open up what never existed. So breathe in your dream. Write it down. Say out loud what you've kept hidden for fear others wouldn't understand. The big vision always precedes the collective consciousness. Let your soul confirm what it has known all along. You were born to do great things. Look back at the dreams you've put aside. For whom? For what? Then choose one small action, but one that is true to the big vision, and do it this month. Miracles don't require you to be good. Miracles require you to dare to believe, and you were chosen to believe before they became a reality. 8. Avoid confusing stillness with stagnation. When everything outside seems to be at a standstill, that is when you are in deep movement within. There are times when it seems like all the doors are closed. Prayers fall into a void. Efforts fall silent. There is no response, no sign of movement. But I confirm this by divine power, that stillness is holy. You are being restructured. Within you, the roots of the soul are deepening. New structures are being established. Things that have not yet been formed are preparing to become. Nothing is wasted. Every moment of stillness is a sacred heartbeat of a greater arrangement. The person with the crescent moon or the letter M does not live according to the human calendar. Your soul moves in cycles, according to divine rhythms. When you do not see clear results, it is not because you are off track, but because God is holding you back, to reserve your strength for the great movement that is to come. July is an invitation. Stand still in a sacred way. If you rush into action just to feel like doing something, you may be throwing your destiny off course. Movement at the right time is glorious. Movement at the wrong time is fracture. Like the moon disappearing before it is full, like a seed that seems dead but is about to break the ground and blossom. You are in preparation. Write down what is emerging. Sit in the stillness as a ritual. You are not stuck, you are being incubated with power. And when the time comes, you will emerge with power you have never known. 9. Avoid speaking against yourself. The words you whisper to yourself are a kind of prayer. Not all words need to be spoken aloud. Many are poured directly into the soul through thought. And each sentence you say to yourself inside your head is a command that is being sent, is being recorded, is being formed. A person with a crescent moon or an M is not only a light bearer, he is also a transmitter. You are transmitting energy through every word, every belief, every sentence you repeat every day. And the most powerful thing, and the most vulnerable thing, is when you use language that goes against your own mission. When you repeat, "I am not good enough, I can't, I am always wrong," you are not describing an emotion. You are declaring your fate. Every word that you say contracts the energy field. It shrinks the light you carry. And the universe doesn't respond to emotions. It responds to the frequency you emit. Be transformed. Instead of, "I don't know what I'm doing," say, "I'm discovering my path." Instead of, "I'm not as good as them," say, "I'm remembering my own light." Instead of, "I can't," say, "I am becoming." Changing your words is the first step to changing your destiny. Sacred action for July. Watch your self-talk. Jot down 3 sentences that weigh you down, then rewrite them into 3 uplifting affirmations. Repeat them every morning as a soul anointing ritual. Remember, your soul is listening, and you are speaking to an anointed one. 10. Avoid ignoring the marks on your palms. Your hands are more than just tools for doing things. They are sacred inscriptions, living pages of scripture that God wrote on your body before you were born. There are times when you look at your palms and feel something waiting, a vague but profound feeling, as if an ancient memory is calling back. It's not your imagination. It's a spiritual call, a whisper from heaven reminding you of who you really are. If you carry the crescent moon or the letter M on your palms, you're not just special, you're entrusted. They're codes. They're sacred contracts you agreed to sign before your spirit entered the physical world. You chose to bring light. You chose to be a guide. And so every time you take them for granted, you turn away from your divine identity. No one gets a mark without a reason. And yours is a noble one. Your hands deserve respect. Every mark, every line, they are the handwriting of the Supreme Being engraved on your body. When you place your hand on your heart, you are not just feeling your heartbeat. You are touching the map of a destiny greater than you ever imagined. So this July, perform a sacred ritual every morning. Place your hands on your palms, close your eyes, take a deep breath, and declare with all your heart, "I remember. I am ready." Redraw the moon sign or the letter M as a symbolic act to awaken the light within you. You do not need to search for your purpose. Your purpose is already written, and now it is time to begin living out that calling. 11. Avoid playing the savior to hide from yourself. You are always the one standing in the middle of other people's storms, reaching out, opening your heart, spreading light. Others lean on you. They come to you to cry, to ask, to seek guidance. And yes, you have a natural healing energy. But now it is time for me to tell you a deeper truth, a truth that only the chosen ones need to hear. The light you give away cannot replace the light you keep for yourself. With the crescent moon and the letter M on your palm, you are anointed to heal, but not to carry all the burdens. Your mission is not to save the world by forgetting yourself. Every time you rush to say, "Okay, let me help," when you are broken inside, you are delaying your own divine healing. A true guide does not save through sacrifice, but through growth. When you turn inward, when you heal yourself, you begin to radiate a light that doesn't need to speak, doesn't need to save, just be present. And others will feel the path through your energy. So ask yourself before every yes, am I helping out of love, or am I avoiding looking at myself? Have the courage to step back, take time for your journey, take space to listen to your own soul. Choose yourself, not out of selfishness, but because you are an important instrument in God's greater plan. And when you live true to your light, you teach the world how to heal without sacrificing your soul. You don't just show the way, you are the way. And that is the glory of the chosen one. 12. Avoid saying yes when your soul is screaming no. You were not born to live up to the expectations of others. You were not anointed to please the world. With a crescent moon or an M on your palm, you are a person who has chosen to engage with truth, not with reason, but with life energy. There are yeses that make you appear kind, sweet, gentle. But inside you know your soul is withdrawing, like a flame being extinguished. Your energy field begins to contract, suffocate, and die. Because every time you nod when your heart is saying no, you are signing a contract against yourself. That is not a helping hand, it is an invisible bleeding. The mark bearer cannot live on pretense. Every word you say is a wave of energy that radiates throughout the entire soul system. You don't say it to make others happy, you say it to maintain your integrity, and that makes you trustworthy in the eyes of heaven. Remember, saying no at the right time is a ritual of protecting sacred energy. When you are honest with your feelings and your soul, you are not rejecting anyone. You are clearing the sacred space for something more right to enter. The universe responds not with sacrifice, but with clarity. So before you say yes, pause. Feel your body. If it feels heavy, tight, give yourself time. Say, I need to think about it. And when it is clear, say no in a soft but firm voice, like a prayer in the sanctuary. Because when you are honest with yourself, you are teaching the world to respect the truth, the chosen one. What you have just walked through are not 12 tips, nor are they light teachings to be read and forgotten. They are 12 spiritual gates. Each leads to a deeper level of your soul, and only you, no one else, can choose how to walk through them. Each choice you make this month is a declaration to heaven. Each choice you make, each one you dare to face, to do differently, is a key to your energy. The deeper you go, the more you become like the one you were meant to be. July is not a passing moment. It is a sacred test. No one is forcing you to prove anything. No one is watching you from the outside. But deep down in your soul, you are being watched by the one who has engraved the crescent moon and the letter M on your hand. Every choice you make, no matter how small, is carving a part of your destiny. You don't need to say it out loud. You don't need to prove it. Just live it every day. A timely no, a deliberate silence, a boundary set with love and clarity. These are not loud, but they shake the future. The chosen one doesn't need to do more, but to live more clearly. Not to follow the whirlwind of the world, but to turn inward to their divine center. Not to please everyone, but to walk in alignment with the frequency that the Creator has planted in you. That is how you keep the light you have been given. That is how you walk as an anointed one. No crown, no applause, just a clear presence. July is a mirror. Each day is a clear surface reflecting back to you. Are you living authentically or just repeating old habits? Are you acting from a spiritual consciousness or just reacting from fatigue? The answer is not in a book, not in someone else's advice. It is in the honesty with which you dare to look into yourself. And July is also a door. That door does not open because of time, but only when your soul is awake enough. When you are strong enough to say enough to everything that dims your light. When you are brave enough to say start over, now, without waiting for permission. If you are still reading this, it means the time has come. The door is open. You do not need to wait for a miracle from the outside, because the miracle is already written on your hand. Those lines, those moon-shaped marks, that M, they do not appear by chance. They are soul contracts. They are the engravings of your covenant with heaven. No one has that mark without a mission. You are chosen, and you have known it for a long time. So do not ask, am I enough? For it was confirmed before you were born. Ask, do I dare to live authentically? Dare to live without hiding. Dare to choose silence when necessary. Dare to say no when the soul screams. Dare to say I am becoming, even if the results are not yet visible. Dare to put your hand on your heart and remember, who am I? What did I come here for? What light did I bring with me? Your hand has spoken. Your destiny has been written. Now, all that remains is, will your feet dare to step forward? Because when you live true to that sacred inscription, the heavens will move. And your light will not only light your way, but will pave the way for a generation to follow. Now is the time. This is your month. Walk as one who has remembered who he is. Clear surface reflecting back to you. Are you living authentically or just repeating old habits? Are you acting from a spiritual consciousness or just reacting from fatigue? The answer is not in a book, not in someone else's advice. It is in the honesty with which you dare to look into yourself. And July is also a door. That door does not open because of time, but only when your soul is awake enough, when you are strong enough to say enough to everything that dims your light, when you are brave enough to say start over, now, without waiting for permission. If you are still reading this, it means the time has come. The door is open. You do not need to wait for a miracle from the outside, because the miracle is already written on your hand. Those lines, those moon-shaped marks, that M, they do not appear by chance. They are soul contracts. They are the engravings of your covenant with heaven. No one has that mark without a mission. You are chosen, and you have known it for a long time. So do not ask, am I enough? For it was confirmed before you were born. Ask, do I dare to live authentically? Dare to live without hiding. Dare to choose silence when necessary. Dare to say no when the soul screams. Dare to say I am becoming, even if the results are not yet visible. Dare to put your hand on your heart and remember, who am I? What did I come here for? What light did I bring with me? Your hand has spoken. Your destiny has been written. Now, all that remains is, will your feet dare to step forward? Because when you live true to that sacred inscription, the heavens will move. And your light will not only light your way, but will pave the way for a generation to follow. Now is the time. This is your month. Walk as one who has remembered who he is.